Welcome to the deep dive. Working in instructional design, L&D, it's this wild, wonderful ride, right? So much potential.
Absolutely. Creating those impactful learning moments.
Yeah. But let's be honest, sometimes it feels like you're just drowning in stuff. The
Yeah.
admin, the data, keeping everything updated, it can be a real energy zapper.
That feeling of being buried in the details when you really want to focus on the bigger picture, the pedagogy, that's super common.
Exactly. You want to craft those bold learning experiences, but
Yeah.
you're stuck with the grunt work.
Which is where this idea we're exploring today comes in.
Right. We're diving into AI agents, thinking of them as like sidekicks.
Yeah, digital sidekicks that can handle some of that routine stuff.
So you can actually focus on the creative, the strategic parts. The big questions, I guess, are what can you really hand off? And how do you even start?
Those are the key questions for sure.
And we're really excited about this because we've been following Kevin Brake's research in this space for a while now. His work on creating AI agents is pretty insightful.
It really is. He has this great quote, something like, "Today we need to know about AI agents. In the future, this may even be easier."
I like that. It points towards accessibility, which is good.
Yeah, Kevin Brake's work really helps frame how practical this can be, not just theoretical, how we could actually weave these tools into our daily work.
Okay, so let's pin this down. What is an AI sidekick, really? It's not just like asking a chatbot a question, is it?
No, not quite. Think of it more like a proactive digital pal. It doesn't just wait for you to ask something.
Okay.
It acts based on triggers you set up. Maybe a schedule, or maybe when something specific happens, like new data coming in, it takes initiative.
Ah, I see. So it's proactive. What makes it tick? What are its main, characteristics?
Well, there are a few key things. First, what you could call proactive hustle. It's always monitoring, watching updates or feedback in real time.
Okay, so it's keeping an eye on things.
Exactly. Then there's smart sorting. It can categorize info, like figuring out if feedback is positive or negative, that kind of thing.
Sentiment analysis, basically.
Right. Third, it's got data magic. Pulling info together from different places, organizing it. Saves a ton of manual work.
I can imagine. What else?
They're action heroes, too. They can actually do stuff, update trackers, send alerts, maybe draft a quick report.
So they take action based on the data.
And lastly, they have a kind of growth mindset. You give them feedback, they learn, they adapt their skills over time.
Interesting. So it's less like a note taker and more like a project maestro almost, handling its own little piece.
That's a great way to put it. It's got that initiative. And like Kevin Brake's research points out, building these isn't necessarily super complex anymore.
Right. You mentioned accessibility. No coding required.
Generally, no. A lot of platforms now are really user-friendly, drag-and-drop interfaces, using plain English for instructions. It's meant to be pretty straightforward.
Phew. Okay, good to know. So if I wanted to, craft one, what's the recipe? What are the steps?
It boils down to three main things. First, the triggers. When does it jump in?
Okay, the when.
Yeah. Could be scheduled like summarize feedback every morning, or event-driven when a new survey response comes in, or even conditional after the course launch.
Got it. So establish the cue. Then what?
Step 2,
Yeah.
the instructions, the mission, basically. You need crystal clear orders, like briefing an intern almost.
Be specific.
Exactly. Tell it where to look for data, SurveyMonkey, Google Drive, whatever. Set the rules like flag anything with the word urgent and use natural language prompts. Summarize the key themes from learner feedback.
So just tell it what you want it to find and do in plain terms. Kevin Brake's work mentioned that natural language part, right?
Yeah, the progress there makes this much more intuitive. You're essentially just telling it the task.
Okay. Trigger, instructions, and the last step.
Outputs, the deliverable. What does it give you back?
The results.
Right. Could be a report summary, maybe some charts. Could be alerts sent to your email or Slack. Maybe just updates a spreadsheet. And importantly, you can often set it so you have to approve things before they go out. Human oversight.
Oh, that's good. A safety net.
Definitely. Keeps you in control.
This sounds powerful, but also manageable. So if someone wants to start playing around, where should they look? What tools?
The best place to start is usually with no-code automation platforms. Think of them like building with Legos, but for software.
Okay.
Clickable menus, templates. They connect different apps and automate workflows without you needing to write any actual code.
Visual building blocks? Sort of. Makes sense. Okay, let's talk tasks. What kind of instructional design work is actually, sidekick ready?
Good question. It helps to think in categories. First, you've got your routine, rule-based tasks.
Like what?
Collecting data, sending standard reminders, maybe basic admin follow-ups. Those are perfect for full automation,
Hand it over completely.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Then there are tasks needing a bit more human touch. AI can help, but you need to oversee it.
Like drafting content.
Exactly. Drafting initial content, maybe suggesting activities. AI can give you a starting point, but you need to refine it.
Makes sense. And the third category.
That's the stuff best kept human for now. Creative work, big strategic decisions, anything needing real nuance or empathy.
Right. So thinking about that task cheat sheet idea, data crunching.
Yep, definitely duo. Sidekicks handle structured data really well.
Content drafts.
That's more of a his leads review for tone, polish, alignment.
Big picture planning, like overall strategy.
That's a firm in. Humans rule there. You need the vision, the deep understanding of context. As Kevin Brank's research emphasizes, it's about augmenting, not replacing, that core strategic thinking.
Got it. Augment, don't replace. Okay, let's walk through the ADDI model maybe. How could sidekicks fit into each phase, starting with analysis?
Okay, analysis. A sidekick could say, gather all your learner feedback from surveys, forums, etc. It could spot trends for on, and lots of people mention topic X.
Yeah.
Maybe even mock up initial learner profiles based on data.
But the human?
The human decodes those insights, validates the needs, digs into the why behind the data, adds the empathy.
Right. AI gathers, human interprets. What about the design phase?
In design, a sidekick might help turn your broad goals into specific, measurable objectives. It could suggest learning activities based on patterns it knows, or even outline potential module structures.
Suggestions and outlines.
Yeah, but the human shapes the actual learning journey, ensures it flows logically, really connects with the learners, feels right, adds that human touch.
Okay. Development phase. Building the stuff.
Sidekicks could draft initial scripts, maybe generate some basic visuals, or run quality checks looking for broken links, inconsistencies, that kind of thing.
For first pass, maybe.
Exactly. But the human refines the voice, ensures absolute clarity, adds the creative spark, the instructional magic.
Makes sense. Implementation. Getting it out there.
Sidekicks are great for automating communications, launch announcements, reminders. They can track engagement data, maybe flag technical hiccups, learners report.
Logistics and monitoring.
But the human builds the relationships, handles the inevitable curveballs, makes real-time adjustments to the rollout based on feedback.
Right, the people part. And finally, evaluation.
Evaluation is a strong suit for AI. Analyzing lots of metrics, visualizing data in charts, highlighting patterns you might miss.
Spotting the trends in the results.
Yes, but interpreting what those results mean for the business or for learning impact, proposing meaningful upgrades that requires human judgment, driving real impact.
So across the board, it's this partnership. AI does the heavy lifting or the pattern spotting. Human provides the strategy, nuance, and interpretation.
Precisely. It's a team effort.
Let's make it super concrete. Can we walk through building one, like that feedback example you mentioned earlier? A Feedback Fiesta sidekick?
Yeah, let's do it. Feedback insights, maybe. Okay, mission. Scan new course survey responses daily and give us a highlight reel.
Okay, mission set. Step 1.
Step 1. Choose your platform. Pick one of those no-code tools we talked about. Name your sidekick. Feedback insights it is.
Done. Step 2. The instructions.
Step 2. Set the vibe. Instructions. Tell it. Check your survey tool every morning. Then, analyze the text. Tag sentiment. Positive, neutral, critical. Also, identify themes. Content, tech, pacing, etc. And definitely flag anything mentioning system glitch or urgent. Maybe even suggest potential next steps based on themes.
Wow. Okay, so you're giving it clear rules for sorting and highlighting. Step 3. The output.
Step 3. Pick the delivery. How do you want the info? Maybe a bullet point summary of key insights, a separate section for urgent flags, perhaps suggestions for action items.
And how does it arrive?
You choose. Send it via email, post it in Teams or Slack. Maybe include a link back to the raw data spreadsheet just in case.
Flexible deliver. And the last step.
Step 4. Test and unleash. Run it with some fake or old data first. See if it tags things correctly, if the summary makes sense. Tweak the instructions if needed. Then, when you're happy, turn it on for real. Let the feedback insights begin.
That actually sounds doable, and I can immediately see how that saves hours of manually sifting through comments.
Exactly. And it gets you the key info faster.
Are there real-world examples, companies actually getting wins from this?
Oh, definitely. We're seeing some great stuff. I heard about a tech firm's training team using a sidekick for drafting assessment questions. Cut down design time significantly, like 5 hours per module or something.
Wow.
Yeah. And a language learning app used one to analyze user interaction patterns to generate more personalized learner personas. which apparently boosted engagement.
Personalization through AI analysis. Cool.
A finance team used one to auto-generate simple explainer visuals for complex topics, reported a jump in comprehension, maybe 28%.
That's a solid number.
For sure. And another one, a corporate team used a Sidekick for managing launch communications for a new platform. Automated nudges helped boost signups by like 20%. These are the kinds of practical wins Kevin Brake's research often highlights.
Those are tangible results. It's not just theory. It's actually impacting efficiency, engagement, comprehension.
Exactly. It really drives home that human AI dream team idea.
Yeah, it's not AI taking over. It's AI freeing us up to be the star, right? To do the parts only we can do.
Perfectly put. It empowers us. But it does mean we need to get good at certain things.
Like what?
Like writing sharp instructions for the AI, setting really clear goals for what we want it to do, giving it good examples to learn from. This is what an awesome summary looks like. And critically, reviewing the outputs, making sure they're accurate and useful.
So we become better directors, better curators of the AI's work.
It's a partnership. We guide. It executes efficiently.
And the payoff. More time, more energy for the fun stuff. Innovation, experimenting, rediscovering why we got into this field in the first place.
That's the goal. Taking the zap out of the routine tasks and fueling the creative work. It's an invitation, really.
Well, an invitation
to dive in, play around with these tools, be bold, and, make instructional design feel like that joyous adventure again. And like Kevin Brake said, it's important now, and it's likely only going to get easier.
So wrapping up here, AI agents, these sidekicks, they're a real opportunity to change how we work in instructional design, automate the routine, elevate the human.
Absolutely. Drawing on insights like Kevin Brake's, we see they're becoming practical, accessible, and genuinely beneficial.
Which brings us to a thought for you listening right now.
Yeah, think about your own work, your biggest headaches, your time sinks. Where could an AI sidekick specifically help you? What would you do with that extra time?
That's the key question, isn't it? What becomes possible? If you're curious to explore, definitely check out those no-code platforms.
Right. Zapier is a big one. Zapier.com.
And IFTTT.com.
Also make make.com. Great places to start learning and building.
They really are. Lots of tutorials and examples out there.
Yeah, you can get a feel for it pretty quickly.
And hey, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Did this spark any ideas? If so, drop a like, leave us a comment.
Tell us, what's the first task you're thinking might be sidekick ready in your world?
Yeah, let us know. We're really curious to hear what you think.